Hey, what's up YouTube? This is the Merman Master coming at you guys from the Team Time Riders YouTube channel with another video for you. And I think since my last profile of this deck, it's been a year anniversary. But as you can see guys, today I have with me a NEKROZ deck. That's correct guys, this is a current format deck. Very interesting place in the meta. This is not really hurt too hard as we're going into link format. As you guys know, the absence of Shuret is extremely troublesome for this deck to kind of get past, and I've tried to do whatever I can to ensure that the deck still functions as intended even without Shuret really around. But yeah, I'll get into the deck profile and explain a couple of things. Say how the format has really changed. I think once link format comes in, this might be a really good deck to take a look at and see. And it's at the very least a very good investment, because if you purchase your NEKROZ cards now, they're pretty much collector's items, kind of like the old samurai stuff or the mermail stuff, and then if new support comes, or they see a slight resurgence, pretty much this stuff will only go up. So very good investment if you guys are looking for something to get into. So let's get started. So start out first, as you saw, we have one copy of NEKROZ of Trishula. Trishula is really great. It does not target, which is very good. So it basically resolves at resolution. Its only weakness being that your opponent has to have one card in their hand, at least one card in their hand, field, and graveyard, in order to resolve the effect. But to be honest, this card is very no one's looking out for NEKROZ anymore. So back in old NEKROZ format days, people would set their entire hands, or they'd leave nothing on the field to prevent their opponent from trishing. But now, you don't really have to have that problem, and a lot of people are just, gaining advantage and have the hand, field, graveyard resources. You pull both your opponent's rat peers out, and pretty much it. Second effect, all NEKROZ have pretty much two effects. Discard this card when your opponent would target one of your NEKROZ monsters, and negates the effect. So very good, dual use kind of card. Thinking about bumping it up to 2 maybe. So that's Trishula. Next we have one copy of Bryanak. He's only at 1 right now, otherwise run him at 3. But he allows you, when he's special summoned, to bounce 2 cards, summoned from your opponent's extra deck back to their extra deck, which is very good. And that includes pendulums, of course, shuffling those back into the deck. But the real reason you use them is you discard them from your hand to the graveyard, search any NEKROZ monster card from your deck to your hand, and that includes the non-rituals. So you could use it to grab an Exa or other cards like that. So that's Bryanak. And now, since Bryanak's limiting, the main card in the deck, of course, is 3 copies of NEKROZ of Valkyrus. Valkyrus is your main draw engine of the deck, allowing you to tribute monsters from your field or your hand, including himself, tribute a variety of different things, and draw up to 2 cards from your deck based on the number of monsters you tributed. So really great at cycling through your hand. And then his second effect, discarding him from the hand to the graveyard and banishing any NEKROZ card, monster, or spell card from your graveyard, allows you to basically do a battle fader and negate and pretty much end the battle phase. So really good card. Has saved my ass so many times, and a lot of people hate to come up against it. 3 NEKROZ of Clausulus. We're running more of the spell cards due to the fact that there's fewer NEKROZ monsters around in the deck. NEKROZ of Clausulus is great for a variety of different reasons. First and foremost, his on-field effect can happen during either player's turn, and is an automatic negation. So in kind of the same way that Dryden is for that, it's an automatic negation of extra deck monsters. And with Zoo running as rampant as it is, despite the release of the true Draco stuff, which was expected to be sort of a check for it, this NEKROZ and specifically Clausulus kind of have a nice little niche here for negating this. And you know, if you have a level 9 or something like that with a Kaleidomiro, you do you know, special summon your Brionac and then get your Clausulus out right after that, and then negate your opponent's things and then shuffle them back into the extra deck. It's a very, very potent kind of play, easy to assemble and good. So that's 3 Clausulus. Next we have 1 NEKROZ of Unicorn. This guy also very, very good, even better than Clausulus, but he's only at 1. Bounces back or negates all extra deck monsters your opponent tries to summon, so also very good against Zodiac, and would be an awesome check if it was at any number that was greater than 1, of course. But, you know, what can you do here? And his second effect, which you don't really use too much, you discard him from your hand to the graveyard to fetch any NEKROZ monster from your graveyard and add him back to your hand. But I guess like the main issue is that, like, you know, also Unicorn can go with Kaleidomiro and ditch one of the extra deck monsters from your graveyard, like the level 4 dude. So that's it. And then next card we have is 1 copy of NEKROZ of Cataster, one that a lot of people don't really like too much, but we do run an increased number of the non-ritual NEKROZ monsters, which are the cards that this guy can really summon. So having him in here is just a really good, just extra option. And then the final ritual monster we've got is a single copy of NEKROZ of Decisive Armor. He's basically kind of like an honest, boost a guy up by 1,000 attack points, and then at the same time, when he comes to the field, he's a 3,300 beater and can banish 1 face-down spell or trap card per turn, which is pretty amazing. So that's it for the rituals. Now moving on to the other main deck monsters. To start, we've got not 1, not 2, but 3 copies of Great Sorcerer of the NEKROZ. Really great spellcaster card, and really the next sort of best card after Shuret and Dance Princess, of course. But this guy allows you to basically, when he's tributed, add a spellcaster type NEKROZ monster from your deck to your hand. So that's really awesome at fetching you your 1 Unicorn or your 3 Valkyrus. Indispensable plays. You can also tribute these guys with Valkyrus's effect and they'll still trigger. And then if this guy is banished, you can send 1 monster, a NEKROZ monster, from your deck to your graveyard, which is very good. Combo him off with like the spells and stuff as well. And he's water, so if somehow you manage to, you know, assemble 2 of these on the field, you can bot him with Shark into a totally awesome. Next, we got 1 copy of Exa, Enforcer of the NEKROZ. I really like this guy because his level 5 combined with most of the level 4s in the deck allows you to go for Trish a little bit easier. When you tribute him, you can add a Dragon-type NEKROZ ritual monster from your deck to your hand, which means NEKROZ of Decisive Armor and NEKROZ of Cataster. Very good card. And then if he is basically banished, you can target any one of your banished NEKROZ monsters and special summon it back to the field. So, very good. Now, that is it for most of the NEKROZ stuff. We have a couple more things here, and that is the Zephyr Core for the NEKROZ. We have 2 Zephyr Saber Swordmaster of the NEKROZ and 1 Zephyraxa Flame Beast of the NEKROZ. Zephyr Saber, I'm kind of testing it out. It's like a couple of extra spell cards that allows you to tribute like monsters, you know, pretty much perform a normal ritual summon when you send them from your hand or field to the graveyard. But he's also really good for, you know, keeping those rank 4 plays and, you know, just keeping your advantage around. And then the Zephyraxa Flame Beast of the NEKROZ allows you to special summon him when you have a monster that's destroyed by like battle or card effect. Just, you know, keep the advantage going there. He's a little bit of odd kind of attribute in the deck, seeing as he's fire and pretty much almost everything else in the deck is water, but you know, that doesn't really come up too often. Still testing those out, see how they play. Now, for the next cards we have, don't think you're done with the Djinns yet, but we have the Zerier of Rituals in here. when playing against Zodiacs, at least, what I have found is that trap cards are a very big issue. Dimensional Barrier in particular can shut down rituals and can shut down like a Vault play or a Brio play right like that. And having a Djinn Desarier rituals sent to the graveyard or banished for his effect to protect your monster from that kind of destruction or from just a blowout trap card, which we're seeing more and more of nowadays, is very, very good, I think, and should not be underestimated. And for the final water monster, we have one copy of Gishki Vision, who can treat as the whole summon for a ritual monster of water attribute. Usually used in Gishkis, but RIP Shuret, we gotta use this dude instead. We would use Shuret though, if he was around. And now, for the last couple of monsters in the deck, we have 3 copies of Maju of the 10,000 Hands, search your monsters and ritual spells. 3 copies of Senju of the 1,000 Hands, search those rituals as well. 1 copy of Sonic Bird, more searching. And we still are running a Clown engine in here just to keep those rank 4 plays going. 2 copies of Trick Clown and 2 copies of Hat Tricker, which are really, really great. Hat Tricker special summons when any 2 monsters on the field, and then Trick Clown is for, if you tribute him from Volk or from some other plays, he just comes back to the field and allows you to go for even more rank 4s. Now, that's it for the monsters. Moving on to the spells, there's not a large number of them, but we've got 3 NEKROZ Kaleidoscope. This guy's more important than ever due to the fewer number of NEKROZ cards that we have and the harder opportunities we have to try and get them to the graveyard. But NEKROZ Kaleidoscope just allows us to put more advantage on board by, you ditch a Quasar or something from the extra deck, that's a Volk, and Klausulus, or, ditch something else from the extra deck and like a Trishula or something like that, and you can automatically get a Unicorn and something else out. So, really, really good. Two NEKROZ Cycle, pretty much the recursion, tribute things from your hand or field to the graveyard and special summon any NEKROZ monster that you've already discarded. Great for getting those Trishes again and triggering more stuff. Tribute a Exa or a Great Sorcerer for Trish from your graveyard, and then search a Decisive Armor / Cataster to get back one of those cards, and then also search a Volk to protect you from the battle phase and possibly go for another rank 4 from there. 2 copies of NEKROZ Mirror, kind of your Miracle Fusion, if you will. Banishes your NEKROZ monsters, will also trigger the other things that you banish from your graveyard, like the Exa and stuff like that, and keep fielding your field with more ability to go for rank 4s. And the final card we have, of course, is 1 Preparation of Rites for recursion of field spell, or for recursion of ritual spells, and then also for, searching that Brio and just kickstarting the rest of your combos. So that is it for the main deck of the deck profile. I currently don't have the extra deck right now, but in the extra deck you run a lot of different synchro ranks, rank 9, rank 8, or like different levels of monsters, and of course Quasar and the level 11 Infernoid guy, which is also a very good thing to send with him. That's it for the deck profile. If you guys liked the video, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And this has been the Mermail Master with another YouTube video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.